For lack of a better term, the Golden State Warriors just got exposed versus the Houston Rockets, losing 106 to 96 and dropping Golden State back into play-in danger in the NBA playoff picture and in the Western Conference, which is an absolute logjam. As we know, Golden State just picked up 3 huge wins in a row over teams ahead of them in the Western Conference standings: Memphis, LA, and Denver back to back to back. But they had a formidable opponent in that 4th game to follow with the Houston Rockets, who just took it to Golden State physically. You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and on today's show, we're going to discuss the Warriors-Rockets game and why Golden State lost this game, what they're going to need to do in the future to end up beating a team like a Houston. But let's talk about the situation that Golden State is in at this point. Oof, with 4 games to go, Golden State drops down to the 6th seed, matching up with the LA Lakers, which we thought could have been a 4-5 matchup just a few days ago. But with how crowded the NBA playoff picture is at this point, I mean, anything is possible. You see Golden State at the 6, LA at the 3, now the 4-5 has become the Nuggets and the Clippers who hold the tiebreaker over Golden State. But a more detailed look at the actual standings, Golden State is tied with LA and Minnesota and Memphis. Luckily, Golden State holds the tiebreaker over both the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies, but they do not over the Clippers. And I don't even know if a end-of-season win over LA will end up shifting the tiebreaker back into their favor. And Golden State now only has 4 games to go left in the regular season. And to be honest, for me to feel comfortable with them being out of the play-in tournament, I think they got to go at minimum 3-1 in this stretch, and I'd argue they might have to go 4-0. Look at this schedule. It is manageable, but it's bookended by 2 talented teams. Whether or not you believe in the Suns, they're kind of like low-key eliminated from playoff contention at this point, but they still have KD, they still have Book, they still have Beal, they still have elite shot makers, and Golden State cannot take that team lightly. Yes, you get some lighter matchups against the San Antonio NA Trailblazers on Wednesday and Friday, but then that game against LA on Sunday, the final game of the regular season, could determine a ton for Golden State's playoff positioning at this point. And there's a real chance that they're going to be back in the play-in tournament when it is all said and done. What do you guys think? Will the Warriors avoid the NBA play-in tournament? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So if YouTube throws you an ad break right here, go down below and answer today's pinned question. Y for yes, N for no. Will the Warriors avoid the play-in tournament and be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference? Before we get into the grand overall scope of Warriors-Rockets here, they took Steph out of the game, plain and simple. And Steph didn't do himself any favors. 1 for 8 from deep, 1 for 10 from the field overall. Only bucket came right before the halftime break where he took about a 40-footer and he nailed it, but he couldn't get anything going tonight. Constant doubles, constant hacking. The officials weren't calling anything tonight, and Steph was obviously not a beneficiary of that. It was a rough performance for him, and Golden State loses this game by 10. If Steph just scores 15 points in this game, you're probably talking about a different result at this point. But they couldn't do that. They couldn't stop Alperen Sengun on the glass. They couldn't stop Dillon Brooks from making every shot that he was given out there on the floor, and it was a rough performance. And I want to highlight Steph, and I want to highlight Jimmy Butler here because where are you? How in a game like this where the Rockets dictate tempo, right? Like they ended up mucking this game up, playing their style, and kind of drawing the Warriors in to play that brand of basketball, which Houston at the end of the day is a better team at this brand. How does Jimmy Butler only get up 7 shots in this ball game? I just think it's malpractice at the end of the day. I know he is a connector on offense. I know he tries to draw defense in and find open players around the half court for Golden State. You're going to get paid $55 million each of the next 2 seasons. You got to be more of an alpha in the scoring department. It's just the unfortunate reality. Like guys who get paid that level of money in the NBA have to be a threat scoring. And I know Butler is not going to be this player who is dazzling the regular season. Even in these games, when it is playoff-like atmospheres against some of these better teams in the Western Conference, you're still not going to get that alpha Jimmy Butler. And that makes me a little bit worried for the postseason if he can kind of flip that switch and go out there and be a 20-plus point per game scorer, game in and game out when it counts in the postseason. I'm a little bit worried about Jimmy as far as being a scoring threat right now. I know he does so many other things that are awesome on the basketball court. But this Golden State in a game like this where Curry goes 1 of 10, Draymond goes 1 of 5, Moody goes 1 of 7. You need a guy like Jimmy Butler who's already 4 of 7 to kind of pick up some slack and be aggressive on offense. We'll talk more about this game and really the bigger reason why Golden State ended up losing in just a moment. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, and that's Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less, whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, bowling, darts, golf, esports. They have it all on Prize Picks. Combine the sports in a same lineup if you want to. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. And just pick more or less on their projected stats. It's that easy. Watch your favorite sports and win real money in real time with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is always trying to hook you guys up with incredible deals as well. Like a free $50 immediately in your account when you sign up and use our promo code CLNS, like you see in the bottom right of your screen right there, and place your first $5 entry. But don't worry, you don't have to win that entry to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Take advantage of their other deals too, like Taco Tuesday or Flex Friday. Taco Tuesday, where they discount different player stat projections, and Flex Friday, where if you put in a flex lineup, where that means you don't have to hit every single square, you can get your entry back in promo funds up to $20 if it does not hit. So download the app today. Take advantage of all their deals and use promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. Like I said, you don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. All right, let's talk about it. Rockets just took it to the Warriors, honestly. Took it to them from the get-go. Really wanted to dictate the way and the style and the pace that this game was played, and they did. They were being physical. The refs weren't giving any foul calls out. Like it was a bruiser type of battle, and Golden State just could not match them. The Rockets were able to force 20 Golden State turnovers. The Rockets were able to get 26 fast break points. The Rockets were able to get 56 points in the paint. Meanwhile, Golden State had 40 in that regard. Only 12 fast break points. The Rockets were also able to get 16 offensive rebounds, including 7 from Alperen Sengun, who they could not contain around the rim. Keep in mind, Draymond picked up his 5th foul early in the third quarter, had to sit a good bit, and could not give Alperen Sengun the fits that he was giving him earlier on in the game. It was brutal, and this is all without saying that Golden State shot the ball poorly today. Like, from the inside the arc, they missed a bunch of bunnies. From outside the arc, they haven't been as hot as they were over these last couple of games. And listen, I get it. You're not going to go out there and win every single game. That's fine. But with the West looking the way it does right now, with seeds 5 through 8 all having the same exact record, you got to go out there and win games like this. And I understand they're 3-1 in their last 4, and all 4 games have been against playoff teams. But at the end of the day, the margin for error is super, super low right now. Like, when Buddy Hield is your leading scorer, you're not going to win these games. You're just not. And Buddy played great tonight. He had 6 threes. It was awesome. Still a couple of, obviously, bad decisions from him. When he starts feeling it a little bit, it's not great. But when Buddy's your leading scorer, it's not going to be great. When GP2 is your 3rd leading scorer, it's probably not going to be great. But I loved what I saw from Gary Payton tonight. Really glad to see him getting back into the mix. Was 2 of 5 from 3-point range tonight. So it feels like the thumb is kind of healed up, and he's all ready to go for this postseason run. But at the end of the day, the Golden State just needed more out of their starters tonight. For the first time in the Curry, Podziemski, Butler, Moody, Draymond starting 5, they lost. They were 14-0 coming in. They were now 14-1. And Moses Moody was not good offensively. He struggled to start. He missed 2 free throws in the beginning of the game. Ended up shooting 1 of 7 and wasn't really able to contain the guards on Houston. Keep in mind, Houston had excellent performances out of Amen Thompson, a team-high plus 26 for the Rockets. And Steph was, I believe, 0 of 7 when guarded by one of Dillon Brooks or Amen Thompson. And haven't even talked about the game that Dillon Brooks had. He had 24 points. He had, 10 of 13 from the field. He was knocking down his threes. He was bullying Golden State into the paint. Like, he was getting his thing done. And Jalen Green finally had a good game against Golden State. He puts up 21. Like, Sengun, like I mentioned, had 7 offensive boards. He was battling with Draymond the entire game. And I was heated at Alperen Sengun. I can't even lie. Like, I really don't think he showed off anything that impressive. But when Draymond had to exit the game, he was able to collect a lot of second chance opportunities for the Rockets. And the Rockets didn't necessarily have like far more second chance points than Golden State did, but it was kind of like the offensive rebounds that mattered. It was down the stretch of the game. Whenever they needed a second opportunity, or like they would get it, and then they would follow it up with a bucket. They kind of just bullied them in all aspects of the game tonight. They forced a bunch of turnovers. Like Golden State previously, since the Jimmy Butler trade, has been one of, if not the best fast break team in the entire NBA. They've been able to get out in transition, force live ball turnovers, and get easy buckets. Well, the Rockets kind of flipped that on their head tonight, and they were able to kind of flip the script and be what Golden State has been over the past couple months. Jonathan Kuminga, he wasn't great, but I actually liked the minutes that he got. I think he was a team-high +9 tonight. Like, I actually liked what I saw from JK out there. Continues to crash the glass. A couple of offensive rebounds for him. Love to see that. He was making solid decisions, not really playing that tunnel vision, head-down basketball anymore, and he's kind of buying into his role within this Warriors rotation. I liked what I saw from Kuminga tonight, but again, at the end of the day, 9 points just is not enough. Didn't talk about Pods yet. He was kind of lighting it up. The only player who was really looking like he gave a shit in the first couple of minutes of this game. Finished with 19, 6, and 4. Like, if he can put up these lines in wins for Golden State, I'm going to sing his praises. He was at the end of the day, very, very solid tonight on the offensive end. Just wasn't enough help from the rest of his teammates, and Golden State suffers now because of it. Like, they're in a position where they could be threatened to make the play-in tournament, and that's nowhere that this team wants to be. Especially, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like Golden State wouldn't be the favorite in any one-game scenario that they'd have to play. But if you don't hit your shots one night, things don't go your way, your season could be over just like that. And for a team led by 3 35-year-old pluses, why do we need extra basketball on our plates? We don't. We need a nice break in between that last game against the Clippers and into the postseason the following week. So with that being said, what was your number one takeaway from this ball game? Warriors lose to the Rockets by 10. Not great. They're back in, to be threatened to be a play-in team once again. They got the Suns, the Spurs, the Trailblazers, and the Clippers. They minimum have to go 3-1 in my opinion to end up avoiding the play-in. Let me know what your number one takeaway from this game was down in the comments section. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We just recently passed 80,000 subs here at Warriors Today. I believe we're only 15 subs away from 80,500, so we're rapidly growing here. If you love the Warriors, you'll love what we got going on here at Warriors Today. Daily news and rumors videos, injury updates, and live shows as well. We will be live for Warriors versus Suns on Tuesday, so lock us in, hit that sub button, turn your notifications on as well. We'll see you guys all in the next one, and as always, let's go Dubs.